Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Break Room. In today's edition, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, controversial stop. Is it a controversial topic? I don't think so, but very interesting topic. I think it's a current topic as well. We're going to review a video, or at least segments of a video of Nas Daily. For those of you who don't know, that Nas Daily is a vlogger. He has his channel called Nas Daily, of course, and he is known for making inspirational videos, traveling across the world, showing gems hidden in different cultures, cities, people, etc. But the latest show in this latest video, he had a message that wasn't. It means at least it looks like a sad message because he's basically announcing that he broke up with his girlfriend of, I believe, 6 years. But I do think that we can learn a lot from the video, and they touch on a very real issue, a challenge. I have to say that that couples, especially people who are in business, encounter. Basically, uh, Nas in the video, it's a 12-minute video, and we encourage you guys to go check it out on Nas's channel. It's called "We Broke Up." But in the video, Nas sits with his girlfriend, her previous girlfriend.
X.
You can find her on YouTube at on the channel Dear Alyne, Alyne. So they both of them sit across each other and talk about what happened. They close it out in a very great way, a very mature way, in my opinion. But it's a very, yeah, it's a very, it's sad, but it's beautiful at the same time. So before we continue, guys, remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps us to get to our monetization goal, which will enable us to create better quality videos, more of these types of videos for you guys. Rate the show as well by pressing the like button, and don't forget to share. With that being said, we're going to start with the first part. The first part is about
Before we
6 minutes.
continue, guys, if you didn't know, here at the Double Thought Show, we cover variety of topics, business and also legal stuff. This falls under the legal part of our channel, as it basically, like Audrey already said, it talks about how to deal with relationships, and when you're having a business, you will see, like we will see why this relationship broke up and why it's very hard to have a committed relationship while you're also as a business owner, whether you're male or female, um, while you're trying to improve, create, build a sustainable business. It's very tough, and everyone has to look at the same thing. They have the same goal at the same time, and even then, it's sometimes tough. RJ,
Yeah,
please continue.
yeah. So I would say it falls legal, but it falls, I think, more under business as well. It falls more under business because um uh
He's, she's
because
not
we're
suing him
because
for half.
ba- what did you say?
I said she's not suing him for half, like Adesanya. Guys, go check out the Adesanya clip as well.
Yeah,
There's a show about that.
yeah, it has more to do. Yeah, it has more to do with business
Yeah.
uh, because the basically, well, let's watch the first part and then we'll get into that. So this is about
Okay.
6 minutes in. 6 minutes in, they've started talking already, discuss some things, and
Crying.
now they touch on one of the key, or I believe it's the main issue that they faced.
Part of me feels like this is a cycle. Right
Can
now,
you
it's a
pause it?
cycle of me investing in the company.
Yeah. So just maybe just one, because we're starting at the middle. The one of the complaints of Alyne was the lack of time, right? The lack of time that Nas dedicated to her, because Nas was so involved with his company. So yeah, just wanted to add that last part.
Company and going all in like crazy. But I'm gonna come out of it at some point.
No, you won't.
I mean, I know I
That's
will.
not true.
I know.
No.
I know.
You said that with the daily videos, and then there was supposed to be a certain amount of time, and then you made it 1,000 days. So I waited with you. I dated you for almost 3 years. I waited, and then the 1,000 videos ended, and I did not become the priority. Then you decided to make a company, and then you didn't do the app, and then the app wasn't the priority. Then this company was the priority. I will never be the priority. I already waited 6 years, almost 7 years, and that's too long. And I'm not gonna live forever. I have one life. And I want to be the priority, even if I'm only the priority to myself, because you were my priority.
Just a bit more.
I think you should.
Yeah. That last part was also important. Um, Basically, we all have come to know Nas Daily. Well, here on the Double Touch show, we actually covered him once, but that was for something else. That was because he covered Sam Bankman Fried Fight Fraud, saying that he is a almost a saint. He did publish a subsequent video saying that, yeah, that's not the case at all. But that was when everything fell down. We all know Nas. Nas has 11 million subscribers on YouTube. He's known on Facebook, social media platforms. He's known as a positive guy. But he's also a very ambitious person. You can imagine that he's ambitious because someone that's not ambitious would not have done all the things that he did. I believe at one point he was also, I don't know if that's still the case, but I think he had a partnership or worked with Steve Harvey to some way or form. So this person is meant to, or at least meant to is a big word, but he is working on big things. Alyne and Nas met each other, that's from what I understood. And guys, if something's not correct, please correct, because I'm usually into business parts. I'm not really into the relationship details. So that's not the main focus for me. So if you have anything, please please let us know. But they met each other after Alyne got divorced and Nas just started with the Nas Daily. Or maybe it was just taken off. So if you see what Nas has been able to accomplish in the last 6 years, you can only conclude that he worked a lot. He put in a lot of time. And he's saying, and Alyne is saying, yo, I've waited so long for you, 6 years for you to make me a priority, but you've never made me a priority in our relationship. And although Alyne has made it known a couple of times, I mean, you can conclude it, you can reach that conclusion based on the video. Because I doubt that the first time they had this conversation was on camera, KaiR. But Nas said, I mean, you can see that it bothers Nas because it bothers Nas that she is sad. Because at the end she cries. Or he cries.
They
He
both
cried.
cried.
Yeah. But at the end you can see the emotion in Nas.
Oh, you
But
mean at the final seconds he was the
yeah,
one crying. But she
he
was crying as well. Everyone cried.
everyone cried, yeah. Because you can see it was emotional. But they were still able to have a conversation. But the key issue is that Nas is so focused on his life, on his purpose, that he thinks that so he says that he cannot, he's unable to give Alyne what she wants. But he says, I think I will come out, and Alyne says, I don't think so. Some people, KR, in that situation would say, after business.
Who?
I mean, there are people like that. When you talk to people, I would say a majority of people will say, you know what, I wanted to do this and this and this, but then
She pulled me back.
she or he.
Oh, he.
But just let's say
And now they left me, and I have nothing to. Anyway.
I mean, if you do it and you can live without resentment for that person, that's something else, because you consciously make a decision, right? But sometimes, KR, I've heard people say, I love my children, but if I could go back, if we can go back, so that means they talked about it. That means he talked about it with his wife, and they were like, we love our children, but if we can go back, we would have chosen not to have children.
Really? Or are those kids losers then?
No, no losers at all.
Jesus.
But they just alluding to what they had to give up and offer to get kids, or at least for the kids, I would say.
And then you have people like what's the guy's name? Sneeko, talking about legacy, trying to have kids.
So I mean, at the end of the day, you make choices. You bear the consequences, and managing a business is difficult. Running a business takes time, but it can be business. It can also be a passion project. Maybe you want to be a dancer. Maybe you want to be a painter. Maybe you want to be a musician. These are all very tough roads. But if you're real passionate about it, I can imagine that. I mean, they say like people who are difficult to be with are musicians, actors, or stuff, because it's when they're up, when they're Hollywood level, they have more time. Then they get like 6 months of maybe recording, and then you have like 2 months of touring and promotion. But then they can, unless you're Kevin Hart and those type of people, then you have like 2 months, 3 months. Morgan Freeman, as I understood, no, it's not Morgan Freeman, it's Samuel L. Jackson. He requires, so if you want him on your movie, he has to have a time slot where he can play golf every day. But you can start making that demand when you're there. Well, of course, to get there is a long road. And that's why they say those people are very difficult people to have relationships with. Other people are people who work shifts. People.
Jobs.
What did you say?
Or 2 jobs.
Or 2 jobs. And I think it begs the question, what should someone choose in that particular situation? Is there a right choice and a wrong choice? How do you assess that question, especially from a business perspective? Yeah, I did the easy part. Especially from a business perspective.
You're setting me up. Jesus Christ.
No pressure.
No
But
pressure.
how would you? So how would you?
Okay.
Yeah. How would you go about that decision? Not for, let's say, if you can, because I think we both agree that there's not a right or wrong, but how would you?
There is a right or wrong.
Okay, please explain.
Well, if you're in a boat that's sinking, you gotta go for the raft. That boat could be both sides, right? if let's say for example you're investing in a company that ain't going nowhere, might as well choose love because that's something that can work. She's been with you all this time with a company that's that's not going nowhere. She obviously loves you more than money because it's not about the money for her. On the other hand, you have a company that has a potential to grow, and in a sense, this it seems like you said, I think they grew apart. And in this case, if you have a company that's growing, it's obviously you're seeing the progression towards something greater. It's growing. You have to make a choice, and in this case, it's obvious that you have to go for the company because you will always regret what if. What if I stayed with the company? What if I did that? What if I did this? I'm not saying it's so in this case, I would personally go for the company. The thing is obvious is that they grew apart. So it's obvious that it's not going. It's not going. You cannot grow once you grow apart. It's very tough to grow back together because people have a certain perception of you. Once the perception has been formed, it's hard to transform it back to what it used to be because the feeling is out and you can clearly hear it in what they are saying. They said, you, we didn't say, you didn't say the word love. We love each other because they grew apart already. So they cannot grow back together. So maybe there is a right choice and a wrong choice. If your company is tanking, man, ain't no saving that. So you might as well go for something that's savable. You can save, let's put it that way. But you can also say, yeah, maybe there is no wrong, there's no right. It's how your perspective, how you look at it. I think that if the company is failing, I would go for love, or maybe you don't go for both. You just blow both up and restart everything. That's the third choice, right?
No, that's not a choice, man. Why would you blow? Why would you blow up two things?
I mean, I'm not saying you gotta literally blow it up, but you just there is always a choice. There is always three choices. I think that's why I'm in my mama's basement.
You made a third one.
Because I always create an additional option.
Okay.
In everything I do, I always come up with a non-obvious option. You can blow up both because you grew. So you gotta assess. Like I said, you gotta assess first whether you grew apart. If you didn't grow apart, let's say your company is tanking and you didn't grow apart, then it's obvious that you have to choose for love or for your relationship. Let's call it relationship, not for love. Relationship. But if you grew apart there, and your business is tanking,
Yeah.
choice number 3, you open the door, put Semtex on the door, on the wall, and create a third door.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think you agree with me, but
I don't agree with you at all. But I don't agree.
You ask me, what is your answer then?
I think you alluded to it. It's about priority because sometimes maybe the business is doing good, but it's not. It hasn't reached its full potential. And we talked about sacrifice in a previous show, right? The longer you sacrifice, the better. Well, the longer you sacrifice, the more you will get. I used the example of a diet, which you laughed at, but I said if you're on a diet, the longer you stick to the diet, the better the results will get, right? And I understand, let's say from a business perspective, you want they don't have children, but the company is NASA's child, right? I'm trying to see because I'm not that familiar with Alyne, but from what she has mentioned in her video, it seems like she feels like she sacrificed a lot, right? Um, and I think it's what she said. Her priority was him, so she was hoping that he will reach a point. So maybe she thought when he reaches a certain level, then he would stop, and then they can live happily ever after. Um, but his he according to him, his goal is higher, and according to her, he'll never reach that goal. He'll always look for something else. Yeah, it's I think at the end of the day you make the decision, the best decision in the situation based on what you know, based on the variables you have. Maybe she wants kids, he doesn't want kids, things of that nature. But if you hear them talk, the guy says that after 6 months or a year, he already knew that, or he became very skeptic of the relationship, which is why he also stopped investing. According to him, she didn't he didn't feel like she really that they agreed on anything, right? Everything that he wanted to do, she didn't agree with. And she felt like, no, but I did everything you wanted to. So maybe I didn't agree, but I did everything you wanted me to. I'm paraphrasing more or less. To me, that's a simple sign. And it seems like they've reached it too. We both gave it our all based on who we are and what we could give. But the priorities are different, so we cannot give each other what we want. But you know what I mean? What each other wants, what the other one wants. Sometimes in this case, it has to do with time, but sometimes it's different things, KR. Some people, for example, they need to be in relationship with people who ignore them. And when they find someone that is giving them all the attention that they need or more, they will leave the relationship, not because of a lack of attention, but because that's not what they need in the relationship. So I think it's not a matter of want, but it's a matter of need. We like to think, oh, I want this, I want that. But most of the times, we as people don't know what we want, or we want this today, then we want something else the next day. It has more to do with what you need, and I think the both of them apparently what they need, the other one can't give. You want to say something?
I think you closed it out, but the thing is also a lot of times, but I'm not saying this particular case, but I find people are not vocal about how they want to be loved, not vocal enough, which creates situations that could amount or end up like this.
Yeah.
Also, be aware the way someone can love you is different than how you want to be loved. Some people love differently. They talk about, I don't believe really in that, but love language, whatever you want to make of it. My language is giving. Some people's love language is, I don't know which love languages there are, because I don't really, it's like, well, I'm not gonna
Acts
bet.
of service. uh I don't know all of them. There are five. Well, there are more, depending who, but the
Mm,
most agreed upon are words of affirmation, quality time,
yeah.
gestures. But you can't say gifts. It's gestures. Or I don't know if gift is another one. and
Well,
act,
gift doing an acts of service, basically. That's what I mean.
no,
Not
acts of
bribing, not
no
bribing her.
no
That's not the right one.
no acts of service is more like I'm gonna make breakfast for you. I'm going to
Yeah, that's
uh,
also a gift, right? You're giving something. Oh, maybe.
gift is something else. So I'm
Oh,
telling you,
okay. Oh,
so
I don't know. Wait, that's why I'm
the
not
love
sure.
languages, I think there's one that has to do with gifts and the one that has to do with
Mm,
gesture. And you can see the gesture is a form of gift because, for example, in my case, my quality time is my gift. But maybe
mm.
you don't want the quality time. We can talk all we want to, but maybe you want, uh, maybe, for example, instead of speaking 3 hours, you want breakfast, or you want. So that's it. So it has nothing to do. But I do agree with you with the communication. But there's another thing that plays a role. It's constant communication as well. But if Nas agreed himself that he is afraid, he was scared of investing. Well, if you don't invest, then basically, if you're scared of investing and you don't invest, then of course nothing will happen. You need to.
Yeah, but you gotta think also this, right? He says also in the same video that the feeling went away after a year already.
Yeah,
So then you're
because they
then
were
already,
arguing.
yeah. So you basically already become kind of scared to invest, because if I start investing now and we're already tanking,
Yeah,
now I'm taking out energy from the company and put it in you,
yeah,
knowing that, knowing well that it might tank. So
yeah,
that's, I think we gotta keep that also in mind. And I do agree with you. If you don't invest, you cannot win. But if you invest in the wrong stock, because life is investing in stock.
yeah,
Basically, it's the same. It's the same analogy.
yeah,
You analyze whether people, and analytical people work like this, I guess.
yeah,
Analyze which stock you want to put the money and the effort in, and then you put invest in it.
yeah.
And
Well,
if you see that it's not going on nowhere, man.
yeah. He's basically saying, or at least that's what I understood, is, hey, in this, if we can't agree in the small things, then, so I'm trying. Let's say that's just like a stock. I invest 20 bucks. It doesn't give me the ROI I want to. I'm gonna put another 20. It rises a bit, but not what I want to. I'll never put in 200, 2000, because so I see the return on investment. But she is saying, and that's the thing. She's saying, hey, but I did. Maybe that's her love language was like, okay, well, I don't know. I
I
agree
align
with you. Let's
myself.
let's not use that. But her statement was, well, I showed you how much I love you because I did everything you wanted to. And he's like, his stance is more like, yeah, but you do it. Perhaps you do it, but then you complain, or you do it, but I can see that you don't mean it. So on both sides, and to your point, uh, they had a choice to make, and it seems like, if I hear Nas, it seems like Nas made his decision
Man,
like
he made
5 years ago.
Yo, he made like a month after they met. Listen to this, and this is amazing. He also said they didn't agree on the small things. Well, it's not. You don't find that out at year 4, right?
Well, in their case, their first date lasted 4 days.
I say year 4.
I understand you, but their first date uh, lasted
True.
4 days. So what I mean to say with that is, usually you try to get to know someone first, right? But it seems like in their situation,
They
perhaps they had
jump into it, your head first.
a chemistry, but yeah, the chemistry immediately, but that can be, just emotions, and they stuck
Yes,
around.
it's all emotions. It's not.
Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. What I do think is great, and we can check out the last part. And guys, again,
Please.
uh, please check out the whole video. And remember, with regards to this video, it's important that you like the video, important that you subscribe to our channel as well, because it helps us get to our monetization goals. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family, and your enemies as well. But as we move on to the last part of the video, I think that's a great part to see. It goes to show you that not because things go bad in a relationship, that means you need to end and say, that person
That's
is a,
good.
yeah, that person is a you know what, etc. KR, let's proceed with the last part of,
Names. There's some people that you just maybe you're not meant to be together, but you're meant to be in each other's worlds. So we'll just kind of stay in each other's orbits. We'll be close sometimes, far sometimes. Maybe.
I'm happy you entered my life. I really, really feel happy that I got a chance to meet you.
I'm happy that we learned and grew and accomplished like so much together.
I'm happy we're still friends.
But I think it's finally time that we move on.
yes. Let's stop it there, guys, because afterwards they start singing. To me, that's, go check it out. But go check it out. Yeah, so it just goes to show that,
Close
just
it out.
because,
Close it out. Go out with your boots on, man. Don't. I mean, This is what. This is how you should actually end a lot of relation. I mean, you fight, but you gotta end it up as adults.
yeah,
At least let's put this way. That's how they show. I don't know what's behind the scenes because what we've also have, I think you said it also off screen, is that it seemed so good that they were taking pictures, posting everything on social media. So you don't know how this really ended. We can only see what they wanted to show us. So,
yeah, yeah,
but one thing I would say is you have to always end it because I mean you spent in their case you spent four lives 4 years together or 5 years or 6 years. Was it 6 years? I think, yeah. Um, and I mean at the end they are part of your life, a part of your story.
yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah, that's what you said. And this ties in perfectly to what our Alyne posted on her IG. It's basically a message and encapsulates what you just said, right? 6 years together,
Please zoom
60
in.
countries, 23%
Please
of
zoom in.
life.
Please zoom in.
No. Yeah.
I cannot see it. Yes.
Okay. So 6 years together, 60 countries, 23% of life. It's easy to break up and turn against each other. It's easy to talk bad, hate each other, and fight. But we were never ones to take the easy road. We decided, why throw away 6 years of experiences just because we aren't a couple anymore? I'm honored to have a partner who was willing to do the work with me to close this phase of our relationship as beautifully as it started. With support and love and friendship, with curiosity and excitement for our futures. We don't know what will happen next, but we're about to find out. Love, Alyne, and Nuzir. And as usual, you have people who don't understand the message. Dear Alyne, I know what you're going through. You deserve so much better. So,
You just people are just like yo, that's why I don't that's why I don't share my life of
yeah, yeah, exactly.
like
So,
you, man. These people are just they hey you will write down a beautiful message saying peace to everyone. The first comment will say
except,
blow the blow the head off of this man so we can have peace. I don't know what are we doing?
yeah, it's crazy. But hey, it's tough. It's not easy. Relationships aren't easy. That goes for, in this case, we talked about the relationship the romantic relationship, and relationship with the business relationship as well. But it goes for friends, it counts for families, it counts for colleagues, it counts for neighbors. Life in general. In life in general, we need to deal with people, and people are very complicated beings. And I think a lot of people, there are some people who are bad, but in their core. But a lot of people try to do the best based on what they know, based on their realities. And maybe you are in a certain place in life and you look back and you look at them. I didn't meant to say look back, but you look at them and you see that they're in a different, a different
There's a
place.
place there behind you. Mouse. After you drop them, you drop the dead weight. Suddenly you're moving forward with light speed.
No,
Some
but
people are dead weight. That's the truth though. That's the truth.
yeah, but nonetheless,
Saying in this
even
case, but some people are that way.
some people are that way. But at the end of the day, it's what you choose to. It's how everything has to do with how you choose to look at things, right? And if you look, a lot of people try to bend the world to their idea of how the world should be. Instead, I think it's better to
Bent thoughts.
bend your thoughts and don't compromise your thoughts. Yes, thoughts.
You
Thou.
took well, your
You
mind
did it.
was in the gutter. My mind was in the gutter.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but it's better to I say manage your thoughts. Don't never compromise. Don't do anything that you believe you shouldn't do. And if in the future you realize that what you held on to or what you believed in the past wasn't it doesn't count anymore, because perhaps you change your mind, at least you can live saying that you aren't that you are integral. You're not a compromised person. You don't compromise your morals and integrity, because that's the most important thing. You can make a decision based on what you know at a particular point in time, but as long as you stay true, then you can live with yourself, because living with yourself is better than you can live with to be able to have fun, accept yourself, and live with yourself is the first step to making, let's say, relationships with other people better as well. KaiR, any final thoughts before we close?
yeah, guys, please let share your thoughts on this topic. Let us know how you think about this, how you think about me blowing up everything. Apparently that's not the right move. um, Maybe I can learn as well from you guys. I can learn from RJ why I shouldn't blow up something that's tanking on both sides. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe I'm the joker here. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Um, and RJ, you can close it out.
Yes, guys, remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like the show, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Don't forget to check us out on our socials at Double Touch Show on Facebook and Instagram. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time, peace.